world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Just like the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city.
Yeah, it is summer in the city. After a rainy start, the skies are clearing. Blue skies overhead. It's turned out to be a beautiful day here at Citi Field. And Jeff, you know why? Because the good Lord in Braves country wants to see Atlanta beat up on Jacob deGrom and get out of town with their second win in this 5-game series against the Mets in Flushing, New York.
Yeah, they got Jacob deGrom. We got someone pretty darn good going today for the Atlanta Braves, too.
And that guy is Spencer Strider, who hopes to get some offensive support with this different-looking Braves Toyota starting lineup. You heard Kelly a little while ago talk about all the transactions for the Braves. A few minutes ago, Ronald Acuna Jr. was scratched, lower body soreness. He is able to pinch hit if needed, so everyone in the lineup moves up a spot as Robbie Grossman will get the start against Jacob deGrom, Jeff, who stands atop his home mound for the first time in over a year.
And you see he pitched on this past Tuesday in Washington, 5 innings, 3 hits, 6 Ks. You know what you're getting, 100 with the fastball, good cutters. Got to be aggressive.
So for the Braves to win their second of the set, what are the 4 keys?
What I just said, swing early. deGrom is going to throw a lot of strikes, going to try to fill up the strike zone, especially being probably on a pitch count today. And then from a standpoint of Strider, attack. You know, this team likes to foul off and work counts, go right after him. You got 100, throw and see if they can hit it. And get a win.
Jacob deGrom, career start number 200. And the first pitch is whacked to right. And Marte is there for 1 out. Well, Dansby did try to attack early. That, however, is a double-edged sword. We are told deGrom will have a 6-inning, roughly 75-pitch limit in his second start of the season against the Braves today.
He's a guy that's so tough, though, Chip, to try to work the pitch count just because he attacks the zone so much. And if you get behind 0-2-1-2, it is not easy to flip that count back in your favor.
So Matt Olson hitting second for the Braves, and C.P. Buckner says strike 1 at 101. That will be the interesting thing to follow in this game as well. First, the 1-strike pitch. deGrom, as you know, sits at 99 to 100 in his first start. After the second inning, his velocity did tick down a couple of miles an hour. And the Mets will monitor that, as will we here today. Two outs. He amped up on that one, a little extra, as they used to say, 102 miles an hour.
Man. I mean, that's just gas right there, beating you to the spot.
So 2 up, 2 down in the Braves first. Austin Riley is the Braves batter. Riley with 3 hits in the series and an RBI. Austin with 29 homers, 69 runs driven in. And a good pass at that pitch, and fouls it back. A ball and a strike. What's it like standing in there against a man that can sit at 100+ miles an hour?
The truth, not a lot of fun, but at the same time, you know, you got to get yourself ready. That was a good swing by Riley, good pass at that.
Riley now 2 balls and a strike, hitting .296 on the season. As deGrom back to work.
That's the pitch that's one so tough. I mean, it's a 95-mile-per-hour cutter slider.
That's how they greeted DeGrom when he made his way to the mound. Inning over. 2 strikeouts for Jacob DeGrom in a scoreless top of the first. Spencer Strider will answer next. For Atlanta, he will show down with the 69 and 39 Mets, who have Lindor, Alonso, and Vogelbach in the middle of their order. They have been awfully potent, but so is Spencer, Jeff, as he tries to get the second Braves win in the series.
Hey, you just saw DeGrom flashing that 100, 101, even reached 102. Well, Strider's going to give you the same thing. 70% fastball. He's going to occasionally mix in that changeup, and of course his slider. Really, all you got to do is throw it over for a strike because of that fastball. As you looked at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud, and look, I'm sure Spencer is very aware of who he's opposing today. Knows he's got to be able to put up zeros and let this Braves offense try to get a couple.
And his slider is maybe the best in major leagues right now. See if he puts it to use against Brandon Nimmo, the Mets leadoff man, who's batting .269 for the year, 10 homers and 40 RBIs. Nimmo 1 for 4 against Strider, who took a no decision against the Mets on July the 12th. Nice and easy 99, bottom of the zone. Go get them, guys.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, you can try to work the count all you want, but to me now, Nimmo taking 2 fastballs right down the middle.
And his first 100-mile-an-hour pitch of the day. Something else to keep an eye on in the early innings of this game. With this late 4:30 start, shadows will be a factor for the first few innings. And they're beginning to creep into fair territory down the third base line. There you see the shadows of the light standards here at Citi Field. And as hard as Strider and DeGrom throw, the hitters will say they don't need any extra help. This is what the Mets did to Spencer in that aforementioned start back in Atlanta, Jeff. He got his 8 strikeouts.
Yeah.
But they put up frustrating long at bats, just like Nimmo is trying to do here. You'll see a 6th pitch leading off the game. Full count. Something else the Braves would really like to improve on in this series. In the first 4 games, they have pitched 5 1-2-3 innings.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of defensive traffic for the Braves staff to deal with.
You know, I was talking to Rick Kranitz this morning for a minute. He said that's what this Mets team is so different than last year's. He said this Mets team has fouled balls off, kept counts going. He said, and sometimes what that does is frustrate our pitchers. And he says then they try to make an even better pitch and ends up kind of working against you.
Pitch number 9 from Strider. Nimmo trying to set the tone for the Mets offense. Line drive into left center field. That's down for a base hit. Harris over quickly. Nimmo with a Very impressive leadoff single.
Pretty darn good at bat start this game. I'll foul those balls off. Good job by Harris getting over this ball though, quick and keeping Nimmo at first base.
With all the rain, all the modern fields obviously dispense of the water pretty well. Is this one of the best in drainage?
Yeah, it's fine too. I mean, like you said, most of the fields now.
So Nimmo at first, Strider to the stretch. And Marte skies one into the Sunsplash seats. Strike one. Marte with 11 homers, 49 driven in. He's batting .295 for the season. Braves are trying to keep their impressive string of no three-game losing streaks alive here in Game 5 against the Mets. And backed up against that wall, the Braves have gone 12-0 this year. Marte squibs one slowly. There's the tag, late throw to first. And just in case the tag was missed, the Braves will make sure they get Nimmo. Nice job by Adrianza to try to apply the tag and then throw to first to get Marte. They do get the force play, and one man is out.
Yeah, he wishes this ball was hit a little bit harder. Strider gets it in on him. Tell you what, good job of throwing it back here. Called him out right away, but I think might have had the ball in his hand.
And I think Buck Showalter is going to go out and make sure that was the case. If he has the ball in the hand and it tags him with the glove, that's not an out.
Yeah, well, even at that, though, the runner stopped. He never went there, so.
Yep. Yeah, he tagged him with the glove. The ball was in his hand. And a smart play, as you said, by Olson to get the ball back.
Yeah, I was going to say, he throws it right back.
And then Dansby will go over and tag Nimmo in the chest. Nimmo never got to the second base bag. I don't really know what there is to challenge here unless the umpire called Nimmo out incorrectly, but he never made a move towards second base. He was standing in the middle of the bags.
Which is fine, but if he's going to sit there, don't you have to make a move still? I would think.
You know what else? Watch at the end of this play. Nimmo sticks his hands out right there and almost trips Adrianza.
You could actually come back the other way.
Challenge it.
Look at Dansby's running in. I think he's coming in to tell him that.
On the big center field screen.
Yeah.
They showed a replay, and I think Snit's going to come out and talk to Jeff Nelson, too.
This could almost end up being a double play.
Could be obstruction or interference on Nimmo, who tried to trip Adrianza as he threw the ball over to first base. So the fans saw what we saw on the big scoreboard.
Watch right here. Okay, he doesn't tag him, but watch Nimmo's hand right here. See how he grabs it?
What Nimmo was saying to the second base umpire, Jeff Nelson, was you missed the call, and that's why Nimmo didn't move to the second base bag. But the tag was improperly applied, but Nimmo just laid on the ground.
Right,
Never went
like
to
you said,
second
look
base.
at that hand. Grabbed his leg. I'm telling you, I think Snit's telling Manny Gonzalez that, the other umpire.
So we've got a couple of things that could be reviewed here. First, the Mets challenge, which is the out call of Nimmo at second base. Nimmo, again, never got to the bag. I'm perplexed as to what could be challenged here. We've received no notice on the PA system from the umpires as to what exactly Buck Showalter's argument would be here. And once that one's sorted out, we'll see if the Braves challenge, and try to get a double play call as Nimmo stuck his hand out and almost grabbed the ankle of Ede Adrianza in between the first and second base bags. Wisely, too, Spencer Strider wants a baseball. He's been standing around. He wants to play catch and try to stay in the flow of this crazy start to the home first inning in New York.
Sounds like we're about to have a
Now the fans getting a little restless as instant replay is proving to be anything but, with what could be a very complicated and convoluted decision. Again, there can't be a question of the force play being removed because Tansby applied the tag on the return throw from Olson. Nimmo never touched the second base
The only
bag.
thing I can is there some, and that's where the rules is there something that can be done if he stops and calls him out? Like, is it up to the umpire's discretion?
Well, here we go.
After review, the initial out call is overturned. However, the subsequent play resulted in a tag that was not affected by the earlier action. So the runner is out. Because of the successful challenge, New York will retain its challenge.
So I think what Buck Showalter is going to argue now is the only reason Nimmo stopped was the incorrect call on the initial tag play.
You can say that, but the way Olson, I think you would have to show that you got up and went, Olson whipped that ball right back to Dansby.
So what the Mets challenged was the initial tag. The Mets were right about that. So they will keep their replay challenge. What they won't get is Nimmo at second base, who will be retired on a fielder's choice 4-3-6. And now the question is, will Brian Snitker and his staff also challenge Brandon Nimmo grabbing the ankle of Adrianza, which could have altered their chance to get Marte at first?
No offense, this is where Jeff Nelson needs to tell Buck, either make your point and move on, because it's not fair to Spencer Strider to be sitting out there this whole time and not throwing a pitch.
Well, we're at 7 minutes and counting now. And let's not mistake, there's some gamesmanship here, because the longer Strider stands on the mound between pitches, the less sharp he possibly could be. So Nimmo is out at second. Marte is aboard at first. One very long out in the bottom of the first inning.
Really, that ended up becoming a waste of about 7 minutes. Is that what we got the conclusion?
Braves will not challenge. And they've got Marte at first and Francisco Lindor in the batter's box. Lindor's had a big series. He scored 5 times in the first 4 games. first one. This is wildly inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Shadows creep over the batter's box as Strider sets. And Lindor has an even count. Well, you want some Sunday drama?
Right, first inning.
Pulled foul. Got Wayne Kirby, the Mets first base coach. 2-strike count for the Mets shortstop. Serve toward third. Bad hop. Riley can't knock it down. Lindor goes the other way. Not sure if Austin saw that one cleanly. First and second, 1 out. It's a hit for Lindor.
Play you're used to seeing Austin Riley make. Again, if you look where he's out on the field, shadows for sun. Very difficult.
So Pete Alonso is the Mets hitter. 7 hits in the series, and he's knocked in 5 runs. But as we said, he's a strikeout and a double play candidate.
Good slider to start him off with.
Alonso with 93 runs batted in. He had 94 runs batted in all of last season. He leads the National League in RBIs. He's behind in the count. Good pitch. 100 miles an hour under the knuckles, and Alonso fouled it back. 1-2.
I was going to say that had a little heat on it. Beautiful location. Now let's see if that sets up that slider off the plate. Get a swing and miss or light contact.
No shift for Alonso. Olsen went off the line at first. Adrianta playing behind the second base bag, and a baseball has gotten loose on the warning track right by the Braves camera well. So a momentary pause for the Florida Gator, Pete Alonso. Pickoff chance, but a bad throw. Marte took a few too many liberties, and with a good throw, they might have had him picked at second.
Yeah, Spencer paused just a little too long when he saw him come off. Yeah, I think they thought they had a read that they could double steal. He did a good job of looking him back.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Strider has thrown 20 first inning pitches, and he had a near 8-minute replay review delay. A year ago, that's a swing and a miss. Like Dansby Swanson, Pete Alonso has made a concerted effort to fight off pitchers' 2-strike pitches. He will swing and miss, but not nearly the rate we've seen in seasons before. And that goes in line with what the Mets have done all year. The second toughest team in the National League to strike out. Let's see if that gets him off the outside corner. Full count. Let's see if the Mets runners move. Marte at second, Lindor at first. Runners lead.
Did look like they were getting ready to go there.
Marte has 13 steals. Lindor has 10. Wind blowing out toward left. Bright sunshine in the batter's box for Alonso with a 3-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Strider with the slider. And that is out number 1.
Good location. That pitch and the fastball before that kind of set that up. Not easy to recognize that, and Alonso went chasing.
So Strider 134 strikeouts in just 80 plus innings this year for the Braves. Remarkable work. And now he's an out away from sending us to inning number 2 with no score. Vogelbach playing in his 13th game as a Met. And takes low, ball 1. 2 homers and 6 RBIs for Dan in that 12-game stretch. One of those homers came in this series. "25 pitches in the first inning, 10 of them to Nimmo. Be careful here. 3 balls, no strikes. Jeff McNeil is on deck.
He might be their hottest hitter right now. Got the nightcap off last night, but a good series for him.
9-game hitting streak for the man on deck. First to 3-1 for the DH Vogelbach. And Strider's back in the count. Daniel thought he had a pitch to hit and just missed it.
Now the runners will be going on this one. 3-2, 2 outs.
Fastball or slider? What's your choice?
I'd bring the heat a little bit up in the zone. If you're going to throw that slider, it's got to be down.
Runners go, and a swing and a miss. It was the slider, and Spencer Strider pitched out of a major first inning miss. Heck of a job. Long delay, no problem. Strider has 2 strikeouts himself after 1. DeGrom will go back to work after a 27-minute bottom half of the first. The Mets are still perplexed as to why that man was called out at second base. It was pretty clear from the explanation we got from Jeff Nelson and what the replay showed us. Buck Showalter came out again, Jeff, in between innings. One of the umpires went over and talked to Brian Snitker and his staff about what Buck Showalter was saying. So nobody really agrees with what the outcome was. In fact, the Braves very easily could have gotten an interference call and a double play.
I thought maybe they would challenge that after they had time to really look at it, but we'll see. Got to score runs.
Yep.
Good job by Strider getting 2 big strikeouts.
So to the second we go. Eddie Rosario will lead off. Rosario has been on base in 29 of his last 30. That's incorrect. I beg your pardon. Eddie Rosario's had reading the wrong guy. Eddie Rosario's been on a nice roll at the plate for the Braves, as his average begins its slow climb after the slow start this year before the retinal surgery took place.
And you wonder, DeGrom came out with all that juice. 102 the ball he struck out on Matt Olson, fastest of his career for a strikeout, but it can shake him up a little bit.
There's a swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. Just trying to say for Rosario, 11 RBIs in the last 10 games or so for him. Kelly Kroll is with us. She may have a better explanation as to what the umpires were telling the Braves as Rosario stands in and takes a generous strike. 2-2 the count. Brown doesn't need that kind of help. Crazy start in New York. No score. 3 straight strikeouts, 1 away in the second. So Kelly, what was shaken in that first inning?
There's a reason a lot of hands are being tossed up right now in confusion, guys. So the deal is exactly what you were saying. The Braves were going to challenge the interference there had they had the opportunity, but I guess the play has to happen at the base. It can't happen in the middle of the base path. The only way you can challenge that and review it is if it is called when it's happening by the umpire. Does that make sense?
So it's non-reviewable.
It's non-reviewable if it happens in the middle of the base path and the umpire doesn't call it at that point. It has to happen at the base.
That part makes sense,
kind of,
but it seems sort of silly. If I'm a base runner,
right?
Why wouldn't you try to hog tie an infielder and maybe get away with it?
Absolutely.
Now
Stop
you
halfway
understand
and
why
blow
you
them
see
up.
them all shaking their heads down here, because that was new to them too.
Thank you, Kelly. That explains a lot as William Contreras stands in.
I'm sure Kelly had fun listening to all of them explain it too down there. You get about 5 of those coaches together down there. No one knows what's going on.
William Contreras will be doing some heavy lifting for the Braves with Travis d'Arnaud out for the next couple of days, it would seem, Jeff. We saw that big collision at the plate with Pete Alonso last night. d'Arnaud came out of the game and came to the ballpark today in a walking boot. Luckily, no fractures, but he's still very sore, as you heard Kelly report on Braves Live. So with that, the Braves called Gwinnett and brought Chadwick Tromp up from the Stripers. Oscar Inoa is here too, as Ian Anderson was sent back to AAA. Contreras, a couple of homers in the series. He's got a full count. DeGrom has struck out 4 in a row. So here is that play we talked about, that crazy play at the plate. Some of the Braves on the bus this morning Still aren't sure that Alonso got in. And just listen to that collision.
Well, the hard thing, too, is for Travis, the way that his body got turned and spun around. He had no idea. You know, he knew Alonso was coming, but had no idea he was right there, and he got him good. But some crazy plays, really, this whole series. Again, today, the way it started off.
So 2 outs for Robbie Grossman. He swings the first one and whistles that into the shift. Hard hit ball, but DeGrom has set down 6 straight to start his day. Presented by Truist, our final game against the Mets in New York this year. What a crazy start. But we have no score. DeGrom and Strider. DeGrom with 4 strikeouts in his first 2 innings. Spencer struck out a pair in a very long, nearly half-hour long bottom of the first inning. And he stranded 2 base runners. He needs a quick and easy inning after 29 pitches.
Could use some early contact.
Figure to get that out of Jeff McNeil, who hits a lot of first pitch hits for the Mets. He's at .304 on the year. 0 for 1 in his career against Strider. This fires high, ball 1. As I mentioned, McNeil a 9-game hitting streak. 5 hits in this series. Right back where it came from, and Dansby throws him out. So that's a good way to start the inning. 1 out on 2 pitches.
Yeah, he needs a nice little 7, 8, 9 pitch inning here.
Mark Canha is the batter. He is 0 for the series. Tyler Naquin's gotten most of the playing time in this series in the outfield for New York in left. Naquin's a left-hand hitter. Canha's a right-hand hitter against Spencer Strider. We'll see how that plays out here in Game 5 of this series. And that's in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Strider coming off a 13 strikeout game last time out. That is a franchise record high for a rookie pitcher in Braves history. And when you think of all the great pitchers who have toiled for the Braves, that is something. Strider starting to settle in now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. After today's play, we head to Boston for a series with the Red Sox. Then next weekend, 4 games in 3 days with the Marlins in Miami, and back home a week from Monday with the Mets again. Mets and Astros at Truist Park. Big homestand as Canha runs the count full. One-out walk. And Luis Guillorme is coming up. He's the Mets' 8th place hitter.
That's why you'd love to be able to sneak this game today, going to face a struggling Boston team for 2, and then 4 in Miami, because you said that next homestand probably, I would say, the toughest 7 games of the year in one homestand thing. 4 with the Mets and 3 with the Astros.
The Braves' 7 remaining games against New York will all be at Truist Park, including the final 3 games of the regular season at the end of September. So Guillorme hits and takes a belt tie strike. Guillorme gets another start for the Mets at third base today. He played second base as well. That came in the nightcap last night.
I've seen a couple times today Strider get ahead 0-2, 1-2. Now it's being able to put him away, get this ball in play, or get a swing and miss.
Back-to-back strikeouts of Alonso and Vogelbach put out a first inning threat for New York. He's got Guillorme set up 0-2. The pitch. Fouled straight back. It'll be a fascinating race over these final 7-8 weeks. The Mets are not an exceptionally powerfully built team. They hit home runs, but not at the pace the Braves do. But they have put the ball in play more consistently than the Braves do. Which style will be best served as far as winning the division? We are going to find out. No balls, 2 strikes. Guillorme wants a moment. Struck him out looking.
You can see he did not like that call, but I'll say this, nothing wrong with that pitch. 2 strikes. You can't be taking that.
Third strikeout for Strider, 2 outs. And Tomas Nido, the catcher, is up. So our game starting just as we presumed it would. Lots of strikeouts, with 2 awesome right-handed pitchers squaring off here in New York. Nido with 19 RBIs, one of them on a suicide squeeze last night. This can't be fun.
No.
He shadows, man. I understand Guillorme's reaction.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can tell probably half of it was he just didn't even pick it up.
Strike 3, generous call. Strider will take that, and he'll take the baseball into the Braves dugout with his 4th strikeout. Ian DeGrom matching K for K here in Game 5. No score at Citi Field in New York.
Here in Queens. Let's take a look at our Bounty quick stats today. We've talked about the great work when the Braves have lost 2 in a row. Only team not to lose 3 in a row. 12-0, over 6 runs a game. Look at that OPS at 850, and after coming off a doubleheader sweep, you'd love to see that record run to 13-0.
Marcell Ozuna leads off the 3rd for the Braves and takes ball 1. Got to get this guy going. Marcell has 1 hit in the series. So far, the fastball for DeGrom as advertised. The slider, as you said, Jeff, is vintage DeGrom. As this ball is cracked toward right, Marte is under it. And DeGrom sitting steady, 99 and 100 miles an hour. Michael Harris will feast his eyes on DeGrom for the first time. He's had a terrific series here in Gotham, and he is our Georgia Natural Gas impact player.
Yeah, outstanding the last 16 games. And you see that's all the offense, not even touched on the defense, and great work he's done out there. The big throw he had the other night.
It's fun talking to the other broadcast about what they see of your team.
Yep.
And the Mets broadcast crew has been raving about what Michael Harris has done here in New York. 6 hits, 3 RBIs, a home run. As you said, threw out a runner. As that just missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. How does the song go? If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Yep.
I'll change the lyrics just a bit. This ball driven hard toward left, slicing into the shadows. It's 1-2. We've had big crowds this entire weekend, as you'd expect. Last visit to New York by the world champs. Now Harris has to protect the plate. 1-2. They ring him up. Check swing. 2 outs.
Now you think about it, Michael's first time facing Jacob DeGrom. It's so tough when you see that 92-93 cutting like it is. It's one of those things that, you know, for him, I don't want him to say it ever gets easier, but as he faces him a few more times, at least he gets an idea of the velocity, the movement.
Adrianza takes a strike. He's starting back-to-back games for the Braves at second. And he's behind 0-2. You just got to hope for a mistake. DeGrom has been human against the Braves. He's 9-7 lifetime. He's perfect through 3 with 6 strikeouts. Here at Citi Field in New York, Spencer Strider and Jacob DeGrom. Let's compare these two in their rookie seasons. Inside the Numbers, brought to you by our friends at Hyundai.
Yeah, darn good job by Spencer. You see 2.79 ERA, DeGrom 2.69. Obviously won that Rookie of the Year, and Strider's got an outstanding chance to win Rookie of the Year this year. Now going back to this lineup a second time.
With Brandon Nimmo, who was the first New York batter. He took 10 pitches before singling and then was erased on that controversial 4-3-6 fielder's choice play that took almost 8 minutes to resolve via review. Two and 0. You have to throw strikes to the Mets.
Yeah.
They just don't chase. They are more than happy to work over high pitch counts. What a beauty. 2-1 the count. Strider's had 5 3-ball counts in his 2+ innings. That has pushed his pitch count perilously close to 50. Nice and easy, Jeff, at 98 to get me over fastball.
Yeah.
A full count.
It's right back in it.
Slowly hit. Olson will glove. Glove flip to Strider. Safe. That's the other part of the Mets offensive attack that just drives you nuts. Infield hits. They lead Major League Baseball.
Now you can see he got what he wanted. Weak contact. He had to wait on that ball as Matt scooped it. It's tough to scoop that in, hit him on the run. Right, good try. But another infield hit for the Mets.
I've got the Mets with 6 of those infield hits in 4+ games in the series. Marte has one of them. He scored a run as a result. And that misses upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Marte hit the ground ball that led to all the chaos with Brandon Nimmo. But he was left stranded at second after Spencer struck out Alonso and Vogelbach in the opening inning. Nimmo, not your prototypical speedy leadoff man with regards to the stolen base. He's only tried 2 steals this year. And he's 0 for 2.
It blows you away because he has such good speed. You saw that to first. Plays a great outfield. For him, just hasn't translated into stealing bags.
Top of the strike zone, and you can see the hitter's frustrations beginning with C.B. Buckner's strike zone for both clubs.
I was going to say that's the thing. I mean, look, I know this Mets team can be patient, but at the same time, you know, Jacob deGrom's going to be getting those corners too.
So use them. Strider ahead, 1-2. And Marte chases. That's 5 strikeouts for Strider. So he's punched out 5 of the first 11 Mets hitters.
Beautiful fastball. Make him expand the zone. Beat him to the spot.
And now Lindor, the hitter. Remember, he hit the ball the other way. Austin Riley had a tricky hop and couldn't knock the ball down. It was a clean single for Lindor. But he too was left on base in the Mets first. But you can see the plan of attack for both offenses. They don't want to get to 2 strikes. And Spencer starting to throw strike 1 a little more frequently here.
Almost everybody that gets to 2 strikes right now is striking out.
6 out of 12 in first pitch strikes is the young Braves righty. And that's low. Ball 1.
It's one of those, you set up on the inside part of the plate, you're going to get that call. He had to reach across and really couldn't frame it for C.B. Buckner.
Play foul. So Strider has Lindor behind. Pete Alonso is waiting on deck. will try again.
Good pitch. Just a little low, but almost got him in the swing.
Spencer Strider's last 7 games, he's pitching to a 2.06 ERA. This one dumped over third, curling near the line, soft hit. Nimmo streaking around. He's going to reach third without a throw. A 2-strike bloop for Lindor, who's 2 for 2, and the Mets have him at the corners for Alonso and 1 out.
And it really is unbelievable how many balls keep falling in. ...63-mile-an-hour hit for Lindor, but it counts. And to his credit, with 2 strikes, he put it in play and found the warning track and fair ground in left. So here's Alonso. Alonso was erased on a slider, if memory serves, his first time up. Had a 3-2 through a good slider. See if we get a ground ball at Dansby and try to get a double play ball. An infield hit and a blue pit has Mets at the corners. That'll work too. Man, what a pitch. That's what Rick Kranitz, Jeff, told me on Thursday. You have to attack these guys. Yeah. Cannot pitch passively and hope to get the Mets to expand the zone. No balls and a strike for Pete Alonso. Wow. Great pitch, called a ball. 1-1 instead of 0-2. Gotta have that pitch. I was gonna say nothing wrong with that 99. That's how Strider got Alonso to swing and miss. Blazed a fastball inside, then swept the slider off the plate to get a chase and strike 3. Mile-an-hour slider. Alonso fortunate to foul that away. So Jeff, what's up 2-2 here? Yeah, I'm either going back to that slider again. That's what you got him to strike out, or I like coming in with that fastball a little bit above the hands. Try to get a swing and miss. He could use a strikeout or a pop-up. Fast runner at third, fast runner at first for the Mets. Alonso has a 2-2 count. Back foul out of play.
Well, this pace, Jeff, you hope that Strider can get you through 5 innings. He's already up to 65 pitches, 29 of them in the opening inning.
Yeah, good news for the Braves. If there was a day to do it, it's probably today with an off day tomorrow in the bullpen, well rested.
I'm guessing slider again after that pitch off the hands.
Two good fastballs. Now see if you can start it off right on that outside part of the plate and let it kind of finish by that white chalk.
Strider shakes twice. Now he's got his sign. And the 2-2. Breaking ball, squib foul at the plate. Here we go again. Another 2-2 pitch is off the third base bag and down the left field line. 1 run scores. Lindor's getting the wave. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is safe. Jeff, if it weren't for bad luck, Strider would have none at all here in the Mets third.
I mean, off the bag, Riley. Run was going to score here, but Riley was going to be able to get probably Alonso at first. I mean, man, there's days in series where it seems like things just don't go your way. And right now, I mean, soft contact, hitting the bag. It's tough. You got to keep grinding and try to get through it.
So Alonso, with a handful of foul balls, kept the at-bat alive. Ricochets one off the third base bag. He now has driven home 95 runs. That's 1 more than all of last year. And the Braves find themselves down 2-0 with Daniel Vogelbach coming up. Vogelbach, a first inning strikeout victim. That evens the count. A ball and a strike. Two and one. Next up for the Mets will be the Cincinnati Reds. They'll start a 3-game series tomorrow. The Braves will be off, preparing for the Red Sox. That one slipped, and it's a 3-1 count. Ball 4. Fourth Met runner to reach in this third inning. And now Jeff McNeil is coming up. Let's see if the Braves bullpen springs into action. Remember, Kelly Kroll told us with the flurry of roster moves for the Braves today, Huascar Ynoa has been summoned from AAA Gwinnett. And the bullpen phone will be ringing. Second walk for Strider. Jeff McNeil, the hitter, he's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Can't give him any more.
No.
Not the way DeGrom is throwing. As McNeil, who loves that first pitch, swings and misses. It's not Huascar Ynoa, but Dylan Lee who's beginning to play catch. You see Drew French, the Braves bullpen coach, in the background, putting the pitch comm device in the cap. Fly ball right center field. Harris surrounds that, and he's there to make the grab, and no advance. And a strong throw into third. That retires McNeil. That's the second out. Strider now up to 31 pitches here in the Mets third inning.
They're hopefully get a quick out here with Canha. Maybe he gets one more inning for you. And like I said, you got pretty much the bullpen rested though. So in a 2-0 ball game, if you can keep it right here.
And again, you don't know how long DeGrom's going to go in the game. We were told, and it's rumored, 75 pitches, 5-6 innings or so.
Yeah.
So if you can keep it close, scratch out a run against DeGrom, take your shot with the Mets bullpen. It's 2-0 New York here in Game 5. Alonso with a seeing eye double that ricocheted off the third base bag and scored 2 runs. Thank you. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alonso at second. Vogelbach is at first. What was wrong with that one? It's not where he caught it, it's where it crossed the plate. It's another miss. And CB has been scattershot for both DeGrom and Strider. More so Spencer, in large part because he's thrown more pitches. To the gap. Alonso will score. Vogelbach is on his way to third. They're going to wave it. Ball dropped on the warning track. And Vogelbach will score standing up. They were waving Vogelbach all the way, but the ball got fumbled on the warning track. It's going to be the last pitch thrown by Strider. The umpires are conversing as well, as Michael Harris had some trouble in center. And the Mets have scored 4 times in the third inning on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Rough outing for Spencer. Mets lead at 4-0. Dylan Lee is on to try to send the Braves to the 4th inning. The Mets have scored 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Cano with a well-struck double plates a pair. The first 2 runs, real bad luck for Spencer Strider. And the Braves, who have to play catch-up in Game 5 in New York today. Yorme, the batter, he struck out looking in the 2nd inning.
I got to keep this at 4 now. I mean, Canna got a pitch there and was able to, Strider got ahead of these guys. Just they fouled some off, and it kind of again frustrated him a little bit.
To center, and Harris will gather that in, and that will retire the side. 4 runs come across for the Mets. We head to the 4th inning. Inning, the Braves will hope to bring the lumber against Jacob deGrom. How do the Braves hit the fastball? Well, let's find out. Our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
All right, you see it, average exit velo. They lead all of baseball, and they only trail the Dodgers in slugging percentage and OPS. So, look, you know what you got coming. You got to get on the heater here, 2nd time through the lineup.
Sure enough, there's 98. So a veritable bounty of run support for Jacob deGrom, who, as we know in his career, has really suffered from a lack of that in his first 199 starts in the major leagues.
Oh, we still laugh the 1 year he won the Cy Young. Remember, I mean, he had almost like a 500 winning percentage.
Since 2018. In exactly half of Jacob deGrom's starts for the Mets, he got 2 or fewer runs of support. And he seldom gives up more than 2. So think of what his career record would be with consistent run support like he's gotten here in Game 5. Again, he's not going to stick around to finish this game. We'll see how far he's able to go with 35 pitches in 3 innings of work. 2 balls and a strike. And that's fouled away. One more note. We talked about how the Mets just battle you at the plate. How many pitches for Spencer Strider? He threw 79 pitches. The Mets fouled off 18.
Yeah.
It's over 20%. 2-2 pitch. deGrom has struck out 7 men and has yet to allow a base runner.
Now that's the thing. Again, we talk about, can you try to get his pitch count up, but at the same time, if you take too many pitches, you end up getting yourself with 2 strikes, and then he can do that to you. He can expand.
He's just remarkable in that as time has gone by and as he has gotten older, he's actually increased his velocity. Now, there are some who wonder if that's had the effect on the forearm problems, the scapula problems, the other issues that have plagued deGrom over the last couple of years. And this is a man that is averaging 31, 32 starts a year for the Mets. COVID year, he made 12 starts. Last year, just 15 with a 1.08 ERA. But he is looking vintage today.
That's a 95-mile-per-hour slider to Matt Olson.
That's poked toward left. Coming on hard is Canna. He got there. 2 outs. 4 Braves have been able to put the ball in play against DeGrom. 2 outs though here in the 4th. Austin Riley is a strikeout victim.
Thought maybe that one was going to drop in to bleed, break the ice.
I believe Jacob DeGrom has an opt-out in his contract. That's popped back toward us. If Max Scherzer's making $43 million, what's Jacob DeGrom worth if healthy? These fans in New York are in a frenzy.
Well, they've been waiting for this guy to come back. They've been waiting for him and Scherzer. See if Riley can time one up.
Jacob DeGrom has set an all-time record for most strikeouts in his first 200 starts. He has 8 through 4 innings today.
Dylan Lee back out on the bump. We saw him coming in the 3rd this afternoon. Last time we saw him, it was the 5th. We've obviously seen him in the 8th and other innings. And in speaking to him earlier this week, he said that has been the challenging part for him this year, and that learning curve is just understanding how many pitches he really needs to take in the bullpen to be ready at any point when his name is called on, and trusting that you're going to have all your pitches ready regardless of how that bullpen may go, guys. He goes, there have been moments where he may not even have, we're having some action going on in the outfield. I'm sure you're seeing that as Dylan waits here. But, you know, he said, I may not even throw a strike, but when I come into the game, I almost have to trick myself mentally into believing that I will have it when I need it. And there's a reason the coaches have called on me. They believe me, and they believe that I'll be ready there. But certainly we're seeing him in different situations, right, guys? High leverage situations, and today they're hoping he'll cover some innings here.
That's exactly right, Kelly. They're hoping they can bridge him for another inning and a half or so and get to the other part of the bullpen. But he has done a great job to me of answering every, you know, situation they've given him. And with that being said, you know, Smith's got a lot of confidence in him.
And he has certainly earned that confidence, as young Dylan Lee, as he gets the Mets' 4th inning off to a good start. A swing and a miss by Tomas Nido, who was one of Spencer Strider's 5 strikeout victims in the game. Strider went 2 2/3 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits. He struck out 5 and threw 79 pitches. That's in the air into center field. A base hit. Not hard hit. So another Mets leadoff man is on, as the Braves will have to wait for another frame for their 6th clean 1-2-3 inning pitched in this series. There has been pressure virtually with every pitch thrown for the Braves against the Mets.
Yeah.
Here's Nimmo. He is 2 for 2. His infield hit led to the first Mets run. That was the frustrating part of the inning for Spencer Strider. Little tapper hit to first. Nimmo raced to the bag and got there ahead of Strider, who matched him pace for pace. And that ball whacked into the right field corner. That's down for a hit. Nido around second. He's on his way to third. Nimmo is standing at second with a 3-hit game.
Sweeping breaking ball that just kind of backed up on Dillon. Nimmo put it down the right field corner, but going back to that inning, yeah, I mean, the weak contact. He got Marte to strike out. Then Lindor dumped that one, and Alonso hit one off the bag, and it just kind of snowballed. We saw it yesterday in both games. Hey, you got to find a way to try to get out of this, limit it.
Starting Marte is hitless in the game. He's hit into a forced play and struck out. We're catching the Mets when they're flying at their highest. They have won 11 of their last 13 games. To center. Harris is there. Nido will not try to advance. And that ball caught off. Throw back to second, and just back is Nimmo. That's why you hit the cutoff man.
Wow, that was close. Figured they'd try to score here on Michael Harris, not with his arm. I tell you, if Matt's able to snap that throw on the right side of the bag, they might have had him.
So Dillon gets Marte to fly out to center. No advance of the runners. Lindor is the hitter. He's 2 for 2. So he has scored a run today. That's 10 straight games that Lindor has touched the plate.
Good pitch.
Strike one for Lindor, batting right-handed now against the left-hander Dylan Lee. Infield creeps in, and that's way up and away.
Dillon trying to be perfect right now, knowing he's got to find a way to keep Nido at third base, try to get out of this inning.
There's a good result, even count. There's not only have the infield in, they have a full pull shift on for Lindor. Riley, Swanson, and Adrianza.
Now they're thinking if you throw that slider, chances are he's probably going to hit it on the ground somewhere to the left side. With that fastball, you're hoping for a pop-up and the infielder is swing and a miss.
Another missed strike. Lindor should be the second out. And now the pitches will pile up for Lee as Lindor is given a reprieve by C.B. Buckner behind the plate. That's got to frustrate you too. A team that's already tough enough to strike out, you make a quality pitch and you don't get the call right.
95's painted in after all those pitches away and up. Got to have that call.
Popped up. Will it stay in play? Contreras gives chase, but won't have a chance. Dylan Lee is facing his fifth batter. He's retired 2 on fly balls to center. And now we're ready again with a payoff pitch. Lifted again, shallow center. Harris is into the shadows and makes that catch, and again hits his cutoff man. So good work by Lee to this point. Second and third with 1 out. Now there are 2 outs.
And my guess is they're going to put Alonso on here and force Buck Showalter to pinch hit Vogelbach.
And that is the case. Pete Alonso will be walked intentionally, and that'll load the bases. Vogelbach will be taken down. Darren Ruff will come off the bench. That's something else, Jeff, we've noticed in this series. It is a very strict platoon for Buck Showalter. It doesn't matter the time of game, the score, or the inning.
No, you can tell he's being very consistent with it. I think some of the managers that I've seen platoon before like that is, as long as you keep it consistent with those guys and they kind of know their role. And Buck has not wavered from that so far.
So Vogelbach, Ruff, Naquin, 3 offensive players that the Mets got at the trading deadline. All 3 of those men have had productive appearances at the plate against the Braves in this series. Love to see Lee get Ruff here and keep it 4-0. Ruff came over from the Giants. J.D. Davis and prospects went west. Ruff, a left-hand hitting specialist. And since coming to New York, he's 3 for 9 with 3 RBIs. But he's down to his last strike. If Lee can pitch out of this, that'd be a big lift for the Braves.
Yeah.
Good block. And a good try by Lee to get Ruff to chase. He didn't. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's where you got to have confidence in Contreras to block that. Good job. Going 0-2, you got to bury that slider.
And he did. Dylan Lee, a heck of a job. Second and third, nobody out. He gets out of the Mets' 4th inning. We go to the 5th, 4-0 Mets. $4.99. Watch all out-of-market regular season games live or on demand. Plus MLB Big Inning, blackout, and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for all the details. That's the line score for Jacob deGrom. Let's see if Eddie Rosario can get something going for the Braves offense, which trails 4-0 here in Game 5.
They can find a way to get a base runner on and just make him pitch out of the stretch. Change it up.
Mets shift for Eddie, who skips the rope and takes ball 1. If you're just joining us, Ronald Acuna Jr. not in the lineup today. Nothing to be worried about. Just some lower body soreness, we were told. This ball popped up toward third. Guillorme all by himself. Will put the squeeze on that one away. We're told Ronald could pinch hit if the situation arises, and hopefully it will in the late innings here in Game 5. Time for our impressive tools feature. It's presented by Bank of America.
Yeah, Contreras lost 7 games versus the Mets, 3 long balls. 2 of them so far this series, opposite field. 5 RBIs, over 1,000 OPS. Been a great year for William.
And as we mentioned earlier, if you're just joining us again, I repeat, Travis d'Arnaud banged up yesterday, walking in a walking boot. Lower body sore. He'll be out a couple of days. Might see him in time for the Marlins series. So Contreras and Chadwick Tromp are the Braves catchers on the roster and available to play. Colin McHugh has gotten up. Dylan Lee an inning and a third of relief of Spencer Strider. Two men are out.
He's just relentless with that slider when he gets ahead. If he gets you chasing, he'll just keep going to it. That's a tough thing. Chip, you lay off at once, but he comes right back with the same pitch and he gets you to chase.
Robbie Grossman has the hardest hit ball by the Braves. He picked on the first pitch and rifled a ball into the shift right at Francisco Lindor. Grossman was the late add to the Braves lineup when Acuna was scratched before first pitch.
That was a good sign to see him. Wow. That's the other thing. It's tough just as a hitter, you know. He doesn't need that help.
Strikes are called balls. Balls are called strikes. And just like that, it's 0-2.
Two straight sliders to Grossman.
Pitch 56. DeGrom is through 5 with a 4-0 lead.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
4-0 New York on our final day in the Big Apple. A beautiful view of Central Park in Midtown Manhattan. Colin McHugh is the third Braves pitcher. He will start the New York fifth, and his last 25 games, Jeff, are Zaxby's indescribably good plays.
He's done a good job. Look at that whole bullpen. You see 43% whiff rate on the curveball. Opponent's average just over 200.
And he will greet Jeff McNeil, Mark Canha, and Luis Guillorme for the Mets in inning number 5. Shadows have all but enveloped the infield here in New York. The last bit of sunshine on the right side of the diamond where Adrianza and Matt Olson stand. Braves need an easy inning. The defense has been out there a long time in this series, and again today. There have not yet been 3 consecutive outs without a base runner in an inning for the Braves in Game 5 today. That's a tough way to win on the road. And it won't happen here as McNeil reaches out and pokes one into right field. He turns and burns. Grossman's throw will come into second off target. And McNeil has a leadoff double, his 25th. And a 10-game hitting streak for the Mets' second baseman.
The tough thing, too, is 4 out of the 5 times today, Mets have got on to lead off the inning.
Mark Canha, a 2-run double that broke open a 2-0 game. Canha now with 37 runs batted in. His first hit of the series. Plates a couple. Showed bunt. As I said, the Mets in this series offensively, Jeff, have had every weapon at their disposal. Sacrifices, bunts, soft hits, balls bouncing off bags.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a rough ride for the Braves in New York to this point. But we're not dead yet. We got 4 innings of baseball left. And hopefully the leash on DeGrom is getting shorter by the pitch. In the air softly to right. And Grossman is there. Runner tags. Here comes the throw. It is on line and cut off. And a productive out for Canha. McNeil, good base running. He's 90 feet away with 1 out.
Saw the Braves try to appeal real quick. They threw the ball to second. Jeff Nelson called him safe.
Guillorme is 0 for 2. He has struck out and flied out. Little league got him to end the Mets' 3rd inning threat. Mets have left 7 men on base in today's game. Infield creeps in, and there's a strike. A cutter, 1 ball, 1 strike. Terrific stop by Contreras. That saved a run. That slider swept in at the shoe tops of the Mets third baseman.
Man, did that have some bite to it. Saw him get a swing and a miss on a pitch like that the other day from a right-handed hitter.
That one fouled off the ankle by Guillorme. It's even now 2-2. That one bounces away. Contreras cannot corral it. McNeil comes home on a wild pitch.
Gonna hit the front of the plate and then off Contreras' left knee.
So a full count for Guillorme, who swings and misses, and that's the second out of the inning. And Tomas Nido is the hitter. He bats ninth on the Mets lineup card.
It always happens like that too, doesn't it? You throw a wild pitch, he scores, and you strike out the hitter on the very next pitch.
So Nido 1 for 2. He's singled and has struck out. Mets split their catching duties equally between James McCann and Tomas Nido. That combo has had a productive series out of the 9th spot on the lineup card. Let's see if McHugh can get this game to the 6th. Mets lead it 5-0. At the plate, but low. And Colin needs to make a 2-out pitch. Softly hit into center. It froze Harris. Big swing, soft hit. Nido has a 2-hit game.
That kind of goes to show you what how this series has gone. Might be the first ball all season we've seen Michael Harris not get a perfect read on. You can see that was a big swing, but off the end of the bat, and it just dropped quick.
Is that what happens in the outfield when you break back on contact? Are you reading swing?
Well, I mean, that was a big swing, but like you said, it didn't have necessarily like that total into the bat sound to it, and it kind of got him a little bit.
So back to the top of the order. Brandon Nimmo is the batter. He took a cutter for a strike. Nimmo set the tone in this game with a 10-pitch at bat in the first inning and earned his first of 3 hits in the series finale. The Mets have 10 hits in the game. So Colin gets to 2 strikes. Let's see if he can dispose of the Mets leadoff hitter. In the air toward Michael. Again, he broke back, but this time he readjusts, and that will retire the side. We're through 5 in game 5.
Our T-Mobile coverage cam, as we've seen him this afternoon, be outstanding. 10 strikeouts. You know, it's always tough when you face him. Chip 27 sliders, 16 swing and misses. You knew he'd be fired up to pitch in front of the home crowd for the first time. He has thrown some nasty pitches to these Braves hitters. 10 strikeouts through 5.
So we head to the 6th inning. There is the impressive work from Jacob deGrom, who has 10 strikeouts in the game. Braves are looking for their first base runner. And we don't know how long deGrom will be allowed to work in this game. We were told 75 pitches, 6 innings or so. Well, he's starting his 6th inning now. He's got 57 tosses, and he's got a perfect game. Time to change that. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Get a knock and break that up and make it easier for Buck Showalter to come take him out.
That's headed for the upper deck right side, and Ozuna will face a 1-2 pitch. One out. Michael Harris, check swing, struck him out his first time up.
You said it early in the game, Chip. The way he's throwing the ball right now, you really, if he makes a mistake, you've got to capitalize. Not making many of them today.
His slider's pumping it at 94, 95. That's many men's fastballs in a big league pitching rotation. And no drop off in stuff this second time through the order.
And that's the tough thing. So think about the sequence. You had a fastball running away. So you get ready for that fastball. What happens? Cutter in. Then he kind of front doors you at 99. It's so tough. You're fighting for your life up there.
Ozuna and Harris have pushed up the pitch count a touch here for Jacob. And they are roaring with every 2-strike count. There's a good take, even count. A dozen strikeouts for DeGrom, 2 are away. And Adrianza will be the last hope in the Atlanta 6th.
Harris did a great job fighting off 2 sliders in. Just missed him down the line, and then you get 100 top of the zone.
It seems rare that he's even gone 1 ball, no strikes.
I was about to say.
That's how sharp DeGrom has been in his 2nd start of the year. Now it's 2-0. Jacob threw 59 pitches in his debut last time out, gave up a run. He's now thrown 70 pitches against the Braves today. Now DeGrom has to make a pitch, his 2nd 3-ball count. As you said, Jeff, get him in the stretch. And now the Mets bullpen is going to start working as DeGrom at 72 pitches. And he loses the perfect game bid with a 2-out walk. Joely Rodriguez begins to warm up. Now that the perfect game is taken care of, let's break up the no-hitter and maybe the shutout.
Bring up Olson and see what can happen.
Let's lead 5-0. Braves have a base runner. Adrianza at first. Not a strike.
No, these fans want everything.
You bet. And when we get home Monday, we're going to want the same kind of crowd support at Truist Park, and we know we'll get it. 1-0 pitch. Not a strike.
Dansby's telling him, obviously that's not a strike, and at the same time tell him, look, this guy doesn't need any help.
The 1-1 pitch. Driven in the air, right center field and deep. Nimmo going back, track wall. It's gone. Dansby Swanson with one swing of the bat has put the Braves on the board. They have broken the DeGrom magic spell, and we've got a ball game in Game 5.
Yeah, beautiful swing. Came with a 3rd straight fastball, and he was able to shoot him to right center. That one got too much of the plate, and Dansby stayed through it beautifully. Look how short that was. How many times do you see a guy give up a home run, get pulled, and get a standing O?
In New York. But DeGrom, 73 pitches, departs. He's got a 5-2 lead, and there's a lot of baseball left.
You buy Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
5-2 is your score through 5 2/3 innings. Jacob deGrom was flirting with a perfect game. He struck out 12 men, but he departs unable to complete the 6th inning. A walk and a home run allowed to Dansby Swanson. Spoils the no-hit, the shutout bid. But Jeff, now Atlanta has the Mets where we want them. I think down just 3 runs and into the New York bullpen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, more than anything, I think that is not so much the frustration of the home run, it's the walk before that to Adrianza. But nonetheless, it's 5-2. You got him out of the game. He's still got 10 outs.
So make them count. Lefty-lefty for Olson versus Joely Rodriguez. We've seen him in this series. Rodriguez pitched a scoreless 6th inning on August the 5th and punched out a couple of Braves, including Matt Olson. This one on the ground, right to first. Alonso will race to the bag, and that will retire the side. So there's a start, Braves country. We've got 2 back. 5-2 game. Home 6th coming up in Gotham. Baseball left with the Mets. 7 games against them in Atlanta starting Monday, August 15th. It starts a 4-game series at Truist Park with Charlie Morton Bobblehead Day. First 15,000 fans at Truist will get Charlie's bobblehead presented by Napa Auto Parts. Go to Braves.com for all your ticket needs. So, Jeff, we got a couple runs. It's a 5-2 game now.
Whole new ball game. Got 9 outs left. Got to keep it right here, though.
And a tough frame for McHugh, the 2-3-4 hitters for the Mets. The Braves are still looking for their first clean inning in this game. This will be a perfect time for Colin McHugh to do that. Marte has gone without a hit. He serves that one foul, again with 2 strikes. So the ground leaves, allowing 2 runs, 1 hit in 5 2/3 innings. His mound counterpart Spencer Strider had some bad luck. A couple of soft hits, a ball bouncing off the third base bag. 1 hard hit ball turned into a couple of runs. But Strider allowed 4 on 6 hits in his 2 2/3. He'll be tuned up and ready to go when the Braves get to Miami. That will be his next starting assignment. Charlie Morton and Kyle Wright will face the Red Sox at Fenway Park Tuesday and Wednesday nights.
I'll tell you what, no matter what happens the rest of this game, hoping for obviously a comeback and a win. I think tomorrow's off day is going to come at a good time for this Braves club. And I got a lot of guys that play every single day. The ability to get an off day on a Monday and a Thursday like that, refresh them a little bit.
And 2 night games back to back. I think that'll help too. Braves are playing and the Mets are playing their 3rd game in a 30-hour stretch. That is tough duty.
And yesterday there were some long games. The first game, 4-hour game.
Here's Marte doing what Marte does. He got to 2 strikes. Now it's 2-2 with a couple of foul balls thrown in for good measure. And a little pop. Adrianza is there, and Marte is retired for out number 1. Francisco Lindor is the hitter for the Braves. Retired him. Here's a quick word from Zaxby's.
Fried chicken salad under 600 calories with the dressing? You better believe it. Only at Zaxby's.
Lindor 2 more singles today and has scored a run in his 10th straight game. How sweet would it be for the Braves to come back and find a way to steal this game?
Man,
as dominant as DeGrom was.
Saying the way the crowd was rolling, and
this is whacked off Matt Olson, and McHugh to the bag for out number 2. Well, that's the thing that always gives you hope with the Braves. There's so much thunder up and down this starting lineup. You get a guy on and you do what Dansby does a couple of times, you can put crooked numbers up in a blink of an eye.
man, that's the whole thing of the balance of the whole swing and miss kind of thing. High strikeout team, but also second in all of baseball and home runs. So the comeback ability, was there for you.
And we've seen that time and time again for Atlanta over the last 5 years with Brian Snitker at the helm, the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And we hope for that to happen here this afternoon. Pete Alonso is the man that guided a ball off the third base bag that plated the first 2 Mets runs.
Sometimes you see this Braves offense, go into some times of striking out. Today was a whole different scenario. I mean, the way that DeGrom was pitching, I don't care who's out there hitting. He was tough.
Yeah, you tip your cap to DeGrom and you tip your cap to the Braves. We said in the starting moments of this game, he will make a mistake. And if he does, you'd better cash in on it. Dansby did. And that's how the Braves have their first 2 runs. Now the challenge is get a couple more in the 7th, 8th, and hopefully the 9th. Alonso hits that ball to right. Grossman nearly misjudged it. And the Braves have their first 1-2-3 inning defensively in Game 5. Okay, partner, we go to the 7th inning. 5-2 is your score. Austin Riley will lead off. It's time to beat the pressure. That feature brought to you by our friends at Coors Light.
I see Austin Riley there at 9:46, only behind Goldie. Since July 1st, Riley's reached base in 29 of 32 games. He leads the NL on 28 extra base hits.
Austin looking for his first hit of the day. Ronald Acuna Jr.'s grabbed a bat. And it looks like he's going to pinch hit. There's nobody up in the Mets bullpen. So Buck Showalter trying to get some extra outs from his left-handed reliever, Joely Rodriguez. There's a start. A leadoff single. So here come the Braves in the 7th inning, and Acuna could make it a 1-run game. And Jeff, Ronald has had a resurgent series here in the Big Apple.
Well, talk about keeping this game within striking distance. Riley gets you leads off with a single, and now you got Ronald coming up. The ability to flip that lineup.
Ronald has 8 hits here in New York against the Mets, including a 4-hit game. That came on August the 5th. It was when the Braves bombarded Taijuan Walker for 8 runs in an inning plus worth of work. So the middle of the order is up for Atlanta. Acuna digs in and takes a strike. See if Ronald can join the double-digit home run club for the Braves. He's got 9. He's knocked in 28. And this ball served into right center field, carrying out to the 380 side, and Nimmo with a last-minute stab hauls it in. That ball found another gear.
It did, didn't it? Wow. He thought he had a beat on it. And you can see he kept drifting and drifting. Ball ends up getting halfway on the warning track.
So Ronald is out number 1. Contreras is the hitter. He too 0 for 2. Robbie Grossman, who switch hits, waits on deck. Bill Bat barring a double play here from the Braves catcher Contreras. Dansby Swanson's 2-run homer last inning accounts for the Braves offense. Riley a leadoff single here in the 7th. Braves trying to come back versus the Mets middle relievers here in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings.
Now you got Grossman coming up from the side of the dish you want him. Contreras can find a way on. You got the tying run coming up.
Grossman has seen Rodriguez before. He's 1 for 1 with a hit, so that's encouraging. But you got to get Contreras aboard to give him a chance to tie the game. 2-2.
He's really sticking with that changeup to William.
That's understandable. This Braves team is one of the best, as we showed you earlier, at hitting the fastball.
And Williams done a good job of going the other way. 2 opposite field home runs this series.
Fought that off. Coming into today's game, as we showed you earlier, the Braves 109 homers and a .501 slugging percentage on fastballs this year. In fact, the Braves lead the major leagues in average exit velocity on fastballs. They have been barreling up the heat. Let's see if Contreras gets a fastball here. Swing and a miss. Change up. 2 outs after the Riley single, and Grossman will stand in.
He thought maybe he'd mix it up there and try to burn one by him. Instead, comes back with a 5th straight changeup. Got Williams swing over the top of it.
That's downstairs. Ball 1 for Grossman. Hopefully the inning continues here. When it ends, we will send you to the stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor and Nick will preview the Boston series, which starts on Tuesday night.
.2-0 pitch here. You can really be picky if you're Robbie. Look for something that you can drive.
He's got a lot of room in left center. He runs well for a big man. The pitch.
And he gets changeup off the plate. First strike. Frustrating.
Hard to remember.
It's 2 or 3 times on Robbie today now.
It's a family show. 2 balls and a strike. Now it's 2-2. Again, that changes the entire at bat, as you well know, Jeff.
That's more than anything. It's the frustration that creeps in. So then he throws you a changeup, a good one down. You end up swinging at it.
After Dansby argued a call, think he hit the next pitch for a homer.
He did.
We'll take a similar result from Grossman here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Almost hit him. So Riley gets a break. He'll get a head start. Got to make Rodriguez throw it. The left-hander will be staring at him. Ozuna waits on deck.
You got to imagine here comes a changeup. That's been his pitch all day so far. See if he can leave one up in the zone and Robbie can clip him.
Here comes the payoff pitch. It was the changeup, and that retires the side in the top of the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. It is 5-2 Mets in Game 5 of our. Meet in the Big Apple for the final time here in 2022.
Angus.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning here in New York, glad you're with us on Bally Sports. Robbie Grossman will move from right field to left field. Ronald Acuna Jr. will stay in the game after his pinch hit appearance. The 3rd change is on the mound. A.J. Minter will come on and face the Mets here in the home 7th. The inning starts with Darren Ruff, who struck out after he pinch hit in the 4th inning.
Colin did a great job there in the 6th inning, going 1, 2, 3, something the Braves have not been able to do too much. See if AJ can do the same right here. That was the one thing we knew. We'd have the full bullpen today, the back end.
So got to hold them here and hope you can make some hay with your final 6 outs. In the 8th, the Braves will have Ozuna, Harris, and Adrianza scheduled to hit. And if anybody gets on, then you'd guarantee that Acuna would come up perhaps in the 9th inning.
Yep.
Two balls, 2 strikes from A.J. Minter for Darren Ruff. to center and well hit, but not well enough. That's the biggest part of the ballpark. And Ruff is retired, one out. Jeff McNeil the hitter, but first a word from our friends at Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Here's McNeil. He extended his hitting streak with a 5th inning double and scored the 5th Mets run. Again to Michael in center. Boy, McNeil loves to swing the bat early in the count, doesn't he? Thank you very much. 2 quick outs.
Yeah, you'll love that first pitch out.
And here's Mark Canha. He doubled into the gap in left center that scored the 3rd and 4th runs in the 4-run New York 3rd inning. His first hit of the series was a productive one for New York.
It's kind of the backbreaker there, the one got in the gap, kind of finished Strider. They've been really getting him to chase that fastball up and those sliders in and on the hands.
AJ looks really good today. 90-mile-an-hour cutter tied up Canha. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's hit to short. 3rd hop. Dansby loads up and gets his man, and back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for the Braves relief corps. We go to the 8th. It's 5-2. Truist Park offers exclusive premium clubs that combine spectacular views of world-class baseball and first-class amenities. Find out all about what's happening at the Truist and Delta Sky 360 clubs. Go to Braves.com/premium to learn more and join the 2023 premium membership waitlist. Chip, Jeff, and Kelly with you. We've gotten late early in New York, as Yogi Berra once said. 8th inning, Braves down 5-2. Marcell Ozuna, Michael Harris, and Adrianza are coming up. That's bullpen is busy as Joely Rodriguez continues to work.
You can tell he's going to try to run him out there, see if he can sneak another inning out of him. Coming back with that changeup. That's been his pitch right now.
Tried it there, but it skipped off the plate for Marcell, who is looking for his 2nd hit of the series. Braves need 3 runs to tie, 4 to take the lead. We've got 6 outs left. So Braves country, get your rally caps on here just past 7 o'clock on Sunday night. But Ozuna is down on strikes to start the 8th inning. It's been a struggle in New York for Ozuna, who's now 1 for 16 in the series.
Now, you know, this game's all about adjustments, and here again, 3 changeups. He's trying to get you to pull that ball, and he's keeping that ball down and away.
Adrianza is the hitter for the Braves. Interesting, he's hitting left-handed against a left-handed pitcher. Excuse me, it's Harris before Adrianza. I beg your pardon. Michael Harris, then Adrianza. Let's see if Erde does that to take away that changeup. Beg your pardon. Michael 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And that swept off the play. It's an even count. Kede taking his swings right-handed as he gets ready for his 8th inning at bat.
He just got to shoot the ball to right field. If they're going to keep doing that.
Michael a little over anxious there and finds himself down to his last strike. Four straight strikeouts for Joely Rodriguez. And Eddie Adrianza will try to keep the inning alive. Kelly, the Braves very happy to welcome this guy back to the club.
Yeah, and this morning, this is the guy that a couple of the coaches were just raving about as far as yesterday. Really liked his game plan, you know, got on base a couple times, had that late double in the 8th, and just likes the plate discipline from him. And we saw him keep that inning alive for Dansby Swanson to go deep, guys. So I think they're thrilled to have him back.
I am thrilled, Kelly. I can tell you that. I love his at-bats last year. They're professional. We saw that last night, the double down the right field line. Through the walk today against DeGrom. I always said when he came up, something good happened. You had a good feeling.
On the ground, sharply hit, but Guillorme is there. Low throw. But Alonso scooped it out, and we head to the bottom of the 8th inning.
The 8th here in Flushing. Let's take a look at our all-state mayhem moment of the game, and really kind of started with just some bad luck for Spencer today. Yes, they fouled a bunch of balls off, but here a ball that could have been a double play. And then the bloop right here on the ball before Alonso gets this ball off the back. And really just kind of snowballed there from him. You can see the frustration. He knew in this type of ball game he had to throw a great ball game and keep it close. And just really some bad breaks, man. This I've told you, look. Tip your hat to the Mets. They've played good baseball. They put the ball in play, but they've had a lot of soft hits, and it was kind of one of those things. Everything has just gone their way right now.
Well, hopefully, Raisel Iglesias can't have an easy time of it in the bottom of the 8th inning and turn things over to the top of the Braves offense in a 5-2 game. Iglesias, a closer with the Angels. Kelly reported earlier on this series with the Mets that Iglesias really happy to be with the Braves. Doesn't matter what role he is in. He knows that Kenley Jansen is the closer, so he'll try to take care of New York here in the 8th inning in a 5-2 deficit game.
Yeah, remember how she was saying that he was surprised, you know, after he signed that 4-year deal to get traded like this, but you know, out there in Anaheim, they seem to be trying to rebuild things a little bit or figure out what they want to do.
First pitch, tricky hop. Dansby, 360 spin, and a perfect throw for out number 1. So Tomas Nido is the hitter. First, a quick word from Texas Pete.
Welcome to the tribe. The Texas Pete tried and true. Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it.
Well, how about this for the Braves, Jeff, who've really had trouble with Mets base runners in most of the innings in this series. All of a sudden, they've now retired 8 straight.
Yeah, and getting early contact from these hitters.
Tomas Nido is 2 for 3, batting 9th for New York. And that's outside. Ball 1. His bullpen could be strengthened in the coming days. Kirby Yates continues his rehab. He worked back-to-back games in the last couple of days. That checks something off of his comeback list.
I was talking to Brian Snitker about him. He said the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to rush a guy like that back. You know, he's been slowly getting himself ready. You want to make sure when he comes back, and the way this Braves pen has been throwing, you know, to me, Chip, it's not one of those things you don't have to rush him.
Boy, it's fun to think about what Yates could bring when he's healthy with Jansen, Iglesias, Yates, Minter, Matzik, Lee. I mean, That's going to be a really good relief corps here in the final 50-plus games. And Iglesias made Nido look foolish with that swing. Filthy pitch, 2 balls, 2 strikes. This guy's got good stuff. As that is rolled foul on Hyundai Sunday from Citi Field in New York. The Braves and Mets wrapping up the Big Apple portion of this 2022 head-to-head schedule. Remember, we got 7 more games left with the Mets beginning a week from tomorrow. 4 at Truist Park and the final 3 home games of the regular season.
So it's going to be nice to get them at home.
Yeah. And Iglesias has his first strikeout of the day. 2 up, 2 down. Brandon Nimmo, the hitter, before he bats. Here's a quick word from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Something else to keep in mind is your matchup schedules. We know what the Braves have ahead of them coming up on the homestand. After they finish their series with the Reds, things get very tough for New York as well. They've got the Phillies, the Braves, the Phillies again on the road, and then 2 at the Yankees.
Yeah. That's what I said. There's still a lot of baseball left, like you said, getting them at home. Your margin for error goes down a little bit, but we've seen this team.
On the ground, Olsen retreats. And a perfect feed to Iglesias, who turns in an impressive 1-2-3 8th inning. Top of the Braves order. Last call in New York. Mets lead by 3.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners.
Come back and win this game in New York. We'll enjoy an off day in Boston and start a brief 2-game series at Fenway Park with the Red Sox. Our coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on Bally Sports South and the Bally Sports app. Braves baseball, as always, is presented by Truist. We are through 8 in New York, and Edwin Diaz is on to pitch for the Mets. He picked up his first career 6-out save on August 4th against the Braves and has saved 24 games for Buck Showalter's Mets. He has the biggest possible lead, 3 runs, 3 outs to get. But Jeff, the top of the order will greet him.
Yep, you got the right part of the order. 17 consecutive scoreless. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get that 92-93 slider with the 99 to 100 fastball. I guess the only good news for these Braves hitters, they've faced that pretty much all day today. So, again, you got that right part of the order coming up there. You get a couple guys on.
But you got to make contact, and that's been the trouble against Diaz, who has recorded 33 strikeouts among the last 45 outs he's earned on the mound. So the trumpets are blaring. Dansby Swanson leads off the 9th. The 2-run homer accounts for the Atlanta offense. And 1 ball, no strikes. Can't believe it. Stu Schuerwater said Swanson swung.
How about the replay, but from here, it did not look like he went.
Braves Live will follow us from New York. It's presented by Xfinity. 5-2, the Mets have the lead. Braves have 3 outs left.
That one backed up on him, but ended up being even more effective because of where every other pitch has been.
So Matt Olson is the hitter. Olson was 0 for 2 against Jacob deGrom and rolled out against Joely Rodriguez in the Atlanta 6th. I hope Truist Park is rocking and rolling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. Citi Field certainly has been. Today's crowd, 37,717. As Matt Olson's gotten ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. The base runner brings Acuna up. 2 base runners brings Acuna up with a chance to tie it.
3 sliders and you get 101 painted away.
There's a good rip. 2-2. Riley next. Acuna waiting in the hole. And the Braves are down to their final out. Austin Riley has the second of the 2 Braves hits. Braves are down to their last strike. That is a ball game. Diaz strikes out the side, and the Braves fall in Game 5. Your final in New York, Jeff. Mets 5, Braves 2.
Tough run today against deGrom and the way he was throwing. Some bad luck for Strider. I think like anything, Chip, you got to take this, you got to flush it. You got an off day, you got 6 ball games on this road trip still to win. And this crowd was electric. If you're down there in that dugout, you remember how loud it was, what they were doing, a little chop at the end, taunting. And you know you got 4 games back at Truist Park next week with them. Circle those on the calendar.
Yeah, let's show them how to do the chop right when we get back home at the end of this long road trip. But tip your cap to the Mets. They take 4 out of 5 in the series. They at the moment have a 6.5 game lead over the Mets. But still 7 games head-to-head left, all of them in Atlanta. We will take a day off tomorrow in Boston, and we'll join you at Tuesday at 6:30 on Bally Sports South. Charlie Morton will take the ball for the Braves. Rich Hill will go to work for the Red Sox, and we hope you will join us for that. Thanks for joining us on your Sunday. For Jeff Rancourt and Kelly Kroll, I'm Chip Carey. Stick around. Blaze Live is presented by Xfinity, and it's next.